Calamity Ganon is absolutely terrifying. He's, in my opinion, the most intimidating incarnation of Ganon in the entire series, and it's not because of what you eventually see, but moreover, what you don't. In fact, before even knowing what Ganon looked like, I was already filled with dread, anxiety, and excitement. My morbid curiosity drawing me to the castle like a beacon, and it's because Breath of the Wild does an astounding job of building up an almost heart-stopping amount of suspense throughout the game, creating a paralysing amount of what is arguably the most powerful emotion of them all: fear. The game builds this fear using subtle but sophisticated techniques, and it does it from the very beginning. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are always astutely aware of Ganon's presence. The castle in the centre of the world is massive. It towers over Hyrule, its shadow like a beast in itself. At the very top of your mission list is one very clear objective: destroy Ganon, and every so often a blood moon rises as a constant reminder of the crippling hold this omnipresent demon has on our world. Areas that seem lush with green and life under threat by this impending doom. People mention him constantly, they talk about what's transpired and what could happen. Ganon's presence is felt in every corner and crevice of Hyrule, from the snowy mountain peaks through the vast sandy dunes of the Gerudo Desert, the tall treetops of the fog-infested forest, and the bubbly lava of the Gorons. He's injected fear into the minds of the Hyrulean population and corrupted the hearts of others. His unignorable, terrifying impact on Hyrule is simply enormous, and hats off to Nintendo for building a suspense, the likes I've not seen in a video game for years. As you approach the monster-infested castle, the music kicks in, and it kicks hard. It's a powerful, brooding atmosphere remix of Ganon's theme and Zelda's theme, brought together with an epic marching undertone, which all adds to this complete fear of the player's impending battle with Ganon. Hyrule Castle is very satisfying to explore. There's the giant moat, underground tunnels, corridors of woe, halls full of debris. It's filled with history and lore, and it's a very interesting and intriguing place to explore. Once again, Ganon is mentioned in Zelda's diary, and there's a fat red marker on your map, making it very clear exactly where he is. His presence is felt so strongly, you can almost feel his breath on your neck. And then, when you get to the Sanctum, the sky turns red, and ahead of you is what looks like a giant beating tumour that's grown so large it's started to take control of its host. It's the stuff of nightmares, and it's also the build-up of this atmosphere, the backstory, the music. It's all a very clever way of injecting spine-tingling terror into the player and making their skin erupt in goose pimples. Often in human psychology, the apprehension of something is worse than the thing itself, which goes back to fear and how powerful fear can be. Apprehension is fear, and Ganon is a very fearful entity, and he's been made this way not through his presence, but by his absence, by the apprehension of him. Ganon's appearance therefore becomes an increasingly difficult issue for Nintendo as the game goes on, as they have to deliver on the build-up that they've created. Even at first point of contact when you land in the large open space underground, you still can't get a clear view of him until the makers want you to. To be honest, I think the designers have done an incredible job. As Ganon searches for you, you get a pretty good view of his beetle/spider-like body. He has an abdomen like a giant insect, and dark red eyes that glare at you like a rogue robot. This ingenious use of aposematism is derived from reptiles, frogs, and spiders that cause the same knee-jerk reaction. Because humans have a natural inbuilt defensive mechanism within our brains to protect ourselves from anything that can potentially cause us harm, and unknown insects, creatures, and spiders are known to carry diseases, have sharp piercing fangs, and in some cases, venom and life-threatening properties. So to see a giant beast that appears to be a combination of all of these things will psychologically tap into your fear receptors. Your brain sees this monstrosity, and you can probably already feel the sweat pores opening up on your skin. And this is before we even get a good look at his face. His face looks like a skull, a thing of death. His slight grin psychotic, his eyes dangerous. The compendium is the only reference to suggest his form is incomplete, and that Link's presence in the Sanctum is what interrupted the process. Perhaps in his cocoon state he was more vulnerable, it's not clear. But what is clear is how menacing he is. Calamity Ganon might not be Link's most formidable opponent in the franchise, and his silence gives him a more monstrous manifestation, but I firmly believe he is the most terrifying and inconspicuous carnation of Ganon ever, even trumping Ganondorf in the sequel.